Hi, I'm Professor Confidence, and juggling's what I teach. It's a skill that's within most everyone's reach. If you go step by step, you'll find you can do it. It really is easy. Just put your mind to it. Just take it real slow and practice each move. Before long, you'll be in the juggling groove. All the secrets to juggling will soon be revealed, but first, watch a good friend. Here's Jason Garfield.
Now, juggling's exciting, we hope you like it too. Once you've got 3 scarves in control, there's so much you can do. You can move on to the beanbags, your second juggling prop. They're really great to practice with, especially when you drop. Next come bouncy rubber balls and bouncing tricks galore. Now you not only use the sky, you also use the floor. Stage balls are big and bright, and they really fill the air. But of course comes juggling rings, a prop with lots of flair. Once juggling 3 is easy, I'm sure that you'll try 4, then 5 and 6 or 7 and maybe 8 or more. The greatest challenge of them all is to learn to juggle pins. Once you can pass with a partner, the excitement really begins. Now jugglers like to manipulate other objects too. The devil stick or rhythm stick is lots of fun to do. The tableau is a Chinese top, a yo-yo that leaves a string. The rubber ones are soft and safe, and the plastic ones can sing. You can learn to turn the boxes or spin a spinning plate. No matter what your audience will think that it looks great. Whenever you practice your juggling, you just ignore the drops. It's a stepwise series of challenges that never ever stops. You can see your skills improving with every juggling throw. And once you know a trick or two, you can give a juggling show. So now you know the steps to take to become a juggling whiz. And you've had the chance to experience what fun juggling is. You're on your own, it's up to you. You know you can go far. With confidence and practice, you'll be a juggling star. The juggling pattern's a special design, not a circle, but an infinity sign. For those whose math skills aren't so great, just imagine a sideways figure 8. Toss your ball on an angle across your chest. Scoop under the catch, that works the best. Then toss with a scoop in the other direction. Reach out to catch again. Perfection. Infinity sign is the way to go. Infinity sign is the way to throw. Everybody make infinity signs over and over again. Carry from the outside, scoop under to throw. Your goal is to capture the juggling flow. Then toss the other way and make an X. This trick at first may feel complex, so throw real high and throw real wide. Throw to the same height on each side. Cushion the ball whenever you catch. Make sure that you make both sides match. If you're reaching up in a panic to snatch, pretend the ball's an egg and cushion the catch. Catch soft, not hard, let it come down to you. If that ball were an egg, you'd be covered in goo. Infinity sign is the way to go. Infinity sign is the way to throw. Everybody make infinity signs over and over again. If you don't want to practice this move for weeks, just look at the top and focus on the peaks. If juggling perfection is what you seek, just keep your eyes shifting from peak to peak. By now, I hope this is easy to do. If you're ready now, we'll move on to 2. So get a second ball and do your best. It's time to take the juggler's test. Juggling best, you'll have to pass the juggler's test. It's easy to do, I'll show it to you. Just make an X across your chest. Toss a beanbag up when it reaches the top. Toss the other one up, they come down, plop, plop. Toss right across, toss left across. And please remember, it's okay to drop. Your tossing has a 1, 2 beat. Right, left, catch, catch, sure is neat. Toss consistently, cause that's the key. If you're on the stage or on the beach, I put in front of you, imagine a wall. That's the plane in which you toss every ball. Its two dimensions are width and height. It doesn't have any depth at all. To really do your juggling best, you'll have to pass the juggler's test. It's easy to do, I'll show it to you. Just make an X across your chest. You find one throw goes too far outside, the hand that made the throw through too wide. So hang two pegs in that imaginary wall, then go over the pegs on the right and left side. Both your tosses trace the infinity sign. Scoop from the outside up across the midline. When the first ball peaks, scoop the second underneath. If you touch them both, you should feel fine. To really do your juggling best, you'll have to pass the juggler's test. It's easy to do, I'll show it to you. Just make an X across your chest. Another step to make it easy for you. Throw the first, say one. Throw the second, say two. Your throwing will gain an appropriate beat if you give yourself a verbal cue. If you throw and catch consistently, you'll exchange two balls continuously. You've done your best, you passed the juggler's test. So now it's time to move on to 3. Now releasing your third throw can sometimes be a bear, even though the ball only has to go to there. You just have to make the throw, it's not something you can fake. Now toss number 3, just throw for Pete's sake. Where does it go is your question, that's fair. It doesn't just randomly fly through the air. It follows number 1 and goes to the same height. Just throw for Pete's sake, it's hardly worth the fight. When do you toss this reluctant third ball? You toss it when number 2 just begins to fall. So toss 1, toss 2, and when number 2 starts falling, just throw for Pete's sake. I can tell when you're stalling. This is not the time to feel comfy and at ease. You've got to take a chance and toss your third one if you please. When number 2 peaks, just throw number 3. Just throw for Pete's sake. How confusing can it be? I don't ask for much, all I want are 3 throws. I don't care if you catch them, just so every toss goes. 2 points in the air, a foot above your cranium. For Pete's sake, those balls aren't made of uranium. But where should I catch it? Where should number 3 land? You catch the third ball in the opposite hand. So alternate your hands, left to right, left to right. Just throw for Pete's sake, we haven't got all night. If you're having lots of trouble letting go of number 3, imagine it's a bird and your job's to set it free. Roll that sweet little birdie to your fingertip nest, and throw for Pete's sake. Stop being such a pest. Have I badgered you enough? Have you thrown the third spear? Give it your best shot, just get it out of here as soon as you can do it. Every juggling student knows, for Pete's sake, it's time to go on to 4 throws. It's hard to believe, but to tell you the truth, you ought to learn to juggle in a telephone booth. Don't hit the ceiling, the walls, or the floor, and whatever you do, don't walk out the door. For if you toss too high, the ceiling will shatter and fall on your head with a crash and a clatter. When you toss too wide, the walls will break, so get control for safety's sake. If you toss in front and the door is closed, you smash your knuckles or bloody your nose. So imagine 2 pegs in that phone booth wall and go over a peg with every ball. It's hard to believe, but to tell you the truth, you ought to learn to juggle in a telephone booth. Don't hit the ceiling, the walls, or the floor, and whatever you do, don't walk out the door. For stability's the name of the juggling game. Your goal is to make every throw the same, so there you stand immobilized. Your pattern's uniform in shape and size. To make that juggling pattern look nice, be like a machine, every throw is precise. Once you juggle safely in a box with glass walls, you won't stagger and stumble when you chase those balls. It's hard to believe, but to tell you the truth, you ought to learn to juggle in a telephone booth. Don't hit the ceiling, the walls, or the floor, And whatever you do, don't walk out the door. So that telephone booth teaches you control. The alternatives to learn on a telephone pole. If bad tosses could lead to 40-foot falls, you'd learn to control those juggling balls. It's hard to believe, but to tell you the truth, you ought to learn to juggle in a telephone booth. Don't hit the ceiling, the walls, or the floor. And whatever you do, don't walk out the door.
The secret to juggling is the juggling beat. Juggling's like walking, it's a rhythm you repeat. You alternate your hands like you alternate your feet when you walk across a room or you stroll down the street. Juggling's like walking, if you know what I mean. You've got to become a juggling machine. Right, left, without any stopping is how you continue without ever dropping. The secret to juggling is the juggling beat. Juggling's like walking, it's a rhythm you repeat. You alternate your hands like you alternate your feet when you walk across a room or you stroll down the street. Start with the ball in the fingertip nest. When it gets up, remember that's the juggler's test. When the second gets up, time to toss number 3. Then continue to throw balls alternately. The secret to juggling is the juggling beat. Juggling's like walking, it's a rhythm you repeat. You alternate your hands like you alternate your feet when you walk across the room or stroll down the street. In order to establish a juggling flow, don't think of each toss as a separate throw. It's the right-left unit you internalize in order for your pattern to stabilize. The secret to juggling is the juggling beat. Juggling's like walking, it's a rhythm you repeat. You alternate your hands like you alternate your feet when you walk across the room or you stroll down the street. Count out loud when you toss 1, 2, 1, 2. Counting helps the rhythm become a part of you. Every time you say a number, another ball flies. Keep counting and tossing, I think you'll be surprised. The secret to juggling is the juggling beat. Juggling's like walking, it's a rhythm you repeat. You alternate your hands like you alternate your feet when you walk across the room or stroll down the street.
Oh, the juggling move that you learned may be fun. It's called a cascade, but it's just the first one of the 3 basic moves that each juggler must know in order to give a juggling show. The next is the columns, each ball has its own path, so it's got another name, the elevator shaft. Toss 2 up the sides and the 1 in between. It's the simplest move anybody's ever seen. The trick is called the columns and every juggler knows. It's just one of the 3 basic juggling throws. You toss straight up and down, each ball has its own path. That's why we call it the elevator shaft. When you catch those 2, just toss them up the sides. Catch the 1 in the middle, give it another ride. And in order to keep this simple pattern going, never stop catching, never stop throwing. Of course you can vary the tosses that you make. The 2 balls can cross for variety's sake. Throw the right a bit high and the left a bit lower, if the right is the dominant hand of the thrower. Try to do the splits, throw the 2 up one side, then reach way out and make your gap wide. Get wild apart with every throw that you make. Exaggerate the gap, but don't drop for heaven's sake. The trick is called a column and every juggler knows. It's just one of the 3 basic juggling throws. There's a basket at eye level, then your job is shooting baskets. The balls go up and over and they fall down straight below. Throw over, throw over, throw over, 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 throw over, 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 throw over, throw over, down the middle, down the middle, down the middle, 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 down the middle, 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 down the middle, middle, mid. Now you're doing the reverse cascade. It's as fun as drinking lemonade, because your arms make great big circles as the the balls fly through the air. Well, you can put it all together and start making a routine with the cascades and the columns and your new reverse cascade. Throw over, throw over, throw over, 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 throw over, 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 throw over, throw over, down the middle, down the middle, down the middle, 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 down the middle, 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 down the middle, middle, mid. Now you're doing the reverse cascade. It's as fun as gargling marmalade, 'cause your arms make great big circles as the balls fly through the air. Now that juggling is so easy, it's time to teach another, like your sister or your father or your darling baby brother. Keep on tossing, keep on catching, just keep your balls a-flying. It's fun and it's easy to give a juggling show. Now you're doing the reverse cascade. It's as fun as sleeping in the shade, 'cause your arms make great big circles as the balls fly through the air. Throw over, throw over, throw over, 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 throw over, 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 throw over, throw over, down the middle, down the middle, down the middle, 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 down the middle, 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 down the middle, middle, mid, down the middle, 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 down the middle, middle, mid. Oh, what can you do with the juggling ball? You can toss it in the air, you can bounce it off a wall, you can bounce it on the floor or bounce it off your knee. Just pick up one ball and bounce along with me. And jugglebug, jugglebug, I caught the jugglebug. Jugglebug, jugglebug, I caught the jugglebug. Jugglebug, jugglebug, I caught the jugglebug. I caught the jugglebug. And now pick a spot on the floor, bounce a ball on the spot. Pick a spot on the floor, bounce a ball on the spot. Pick a spot on the floor, bounce a ball on the spot. Bounce from hand to hand. Bounce two balls on the spot. Bounce, bounce, catch, catch. Bounce two balls on the spot. Bounce, bounce, catch, catch. Bounce two balls on the spot. Bounce, bounce, catch, catch. Bounce, bounce, catch. Toss one, toss two, toss three, catch, catch. Toss one, toss two, toss three, catch, catch. Toss one, toss two, toss three, catch, catch. Toss, 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 catch, catch. Jugglebug, jugglebug, I caught the jugglebug. Jugglebug, jugglebug, I caught the jugglebug. Jugglebug, jugglebug, I caught the jugglebug. I caught the jugglebug. Alternate your hands, right, left, right, left, right, left. Alternate your hands, right, left, right, left, right, left. Alternate your hands, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. So start with a bounce and then bounce and catch, bounce and catch. Start with a bounce and then bounce and catch, bounce and catch. Start with a bounce and then bounce and catch, bounce and catch, bounce and catch, bounce and catch. When you're dropping your show, just put it back in the act. When you're dropping your show, just put it back in the act. When you're dropping your show, just put it back in the act. Just put it back in your act. If that drop runs away, just kick it back up again. If that drop runs away, just kick it back up again. If that drop runs away, just kick it back up again. Just kick it right back. Jugglebug, jugglebug, I caught the jugglebug. I caught the jugglebug. Oh, the trick to doing 4 balls is 2 balls in each hand. That trick is a crowd pleaser, admired throughout the land. At first when learning 4 balls, please note the balls don't cross. The trick is really easy, it's all in how you toss. The key to doing 4 balls is to keep your hands apart. It requires concentration, the balls don't cross your heart. When you first start doing 4 balls, throw 2 balls at a time. Your 2 hands never switch, 'cause crossing is a crime. You can throw up from the center and catch out to the side. It's the easiest 4-ball pattern if you don't throw too wide. Another 4-ball pattern is to go from outside in. You must control your tosses, to cross 2 is a sin. All the trick to doing 4 balls is 2 balls in each hand. That trick is a crowd pleaser, admired throughout the land. At first when learning 4 balls, please note the balls don't cross. That trick is really easy, it's all in how you toss. Throw columns left and columns right, spread those columns wide. The famous 4-ball split sends 2 balls up each side. Once each hand can do 2 balls, to cross 4 can be fun. Just toss high from your strong hand above the weaker one. Now if you want to try a trick that really looks complex, you toss 2 balls together, that's called the multiplex. You can stack 'em up or twist your wrist and give two balls a split. I know that it looks difficult, it really is a hit. All the trick is doing 4 balls, is 2 balls in each hand. That trick is a crowd pleaser and admired throughout the land. At first when learning 4 balls, please note the balls don't cross. The trick is really easy, it's all in how you toss. It's all in how you toss. Now that you know how to juggle, there's so much for you to do. Teach others without struggle, and they'll teach others too. By passing it around, everyone will know that we're all a part of an endless vaudeville show. Each one, teach one, pass the skill around. Each one, teach one, till we all have found that the teachers learn as much as their students do. Keep on juggling, keep on learning, 'cause that's what jugglers do. When you teach someone to juggle, and I know now that you will, oh, you know that a big hug will be the payment for the skill that you give to another, so that they can be a part of this gigantic circus, the circus of the heart. But I hear what you're saying. If everybody knows how to juggle, who'll be paying to see our juggling shows? When the audience all juggles, they appreciate the skill. No one loves your art like another artist will. So be patient with those you teach, give them a chance to go step by step until they reach each juggling plateau. When you take the time to teach them right, they never will forget how and when they learned and the teacher that they met. And along with teaching juggling, there are other lessons too, things with which we are all struggling as our life we bumble through. Learn to focus on success with every step you take. A drop's a sign of progress, you learn from each mistake. Each one, teach one, pass the skill around. Each one, teach one, till we all have found that the teachers learn as much as their students do. Keep on juggling, keep on learning, 'cause that's what jugglers do. I'll let you in on a secret that I know. Now that you've learned 3 different ways to throw and have enough control to give a little show, now it's time to break the rules. Remember how they said to juggle in a plane? Here's a 3D trick, no need to explain. You use height, width, and depth, all 3 dimensions. Breaking rules leads to juggling inventions. I'm breaking the rules because I'm no fool. I learned the basics back in juggling school. Now I wanna do stuff that looks real cool, so I'll take a risk and break each rule. Why just toss across, why not carry instead? It's the sort of move you think up in your head, then try to fit it into your juggling routine. Then practice that move till it looks real clean. Tossing one at a time is okay for some guys, but I want my routine to be loaded with surprise. So I toss 2 or maybe 3 at a whack. Bounce, kick, or joggle, or start behind my back. I'm breaking the rules, 'cause I'm no fool. I learned the basics back in juggling school. Now I wanna do stuff that looks real cool, so I'll take a chance and break each rule. Remember how they said you shouldn't pass across, or one hand becomes a slave and the other hand the boss. But the shower is a special move, what passing's what you do. It's just that your other hand must learn to do it too. Like any other discipline that artists can devise, you've gotta learn the rules before you can improvise. Get your act together and learn the basic throws, then there will never be a limit to where your juggling goes. I'm breaking the rules because I'm no fool. I learned the basics back in juggling school. Now I wanna do stuff that looks real cool. So I'll make my mark by breaking every rule. Now I'll make my mark by breaking every rule. Yeah!
I hope you learned to juggle with beanbags and balls in the air, off the floor, and even the walls. So challenge yourself by trying new props. Just count your successes. Ignore all the drops. We've got plenty of tapes and lessons for you. There's an endless variety of tricks you can do. If you need props or other juggling information, or want to join the international organization, call our 800 number or visit a shop. You're on the right track. Now remember, don't stop.
Now juggling's exciting, we hope you like it too. Once you've got 3 scarves in control, there's so much you can do. You can move on to the beanbags, your second juggling prop. They're really great to practice with, especially when you drop. Next come bouncy rubber balls and bouncing tricks galore. Now you not only use the sky, you also use the floor. Stage balls are big and bright, and they really fill the air. But of course comes juggling rings, a prop with lots of flair. Once juggling 3 is easy, I'm sure that you'll try 4, then 5 and 6 or 7 and maybe 8 or more. The greatest challenge of them all is to learn to juggle pins. Once you can pass with a partner, the excitement really begins. Now jugglers like to manipulate other objects too. The devil stick or rhythm stick is lots of fun to do. The tableau is a Chinese top, a yo-yo that leaves a string. The rubber ones are soft and safe, and the plastic ones can sing. You can learn to turn the boxes or spin a spinning plate. No matter what, your audience will think that it looks great. Whenever you practice your juggling, you just ignore the drops. It's a stepwise series of challenges that never ever stops. You can see your skills improving with every juggling throw. And once you know a trick or two, you can give a juggling show. So now you know the steps to take to become a juggling whiz. And you've had the chance to experience what fun juggling is. You're on your own, it's up to you. You know you can go far with confidence and practice. You'll be a juggling star.